I hold a regular round table in my constituency of people with lived experience of autism. And I think it's fair to say that they're in a fair bit of despair because they just feel that this whole thing is dragging out for a long time. You know, I understand your reasoning. You've got to know what the situation is. You've got to know, you know, have you got the staff, where you're going to deploy them, etc. I was just slightly uncomfortable by a comment you made a little bit earlier about, you know, once we know everything, then, you know, we're going to have to see if we can take money away from another part of the NHS, and other committees will have a comment about that. And I'm sure that was not meant the way it might sound to the people who will go through this, because actually it's not setting up families who have lived experience with autism against other families with other problems. You know, everybody's in trouble, everybody needs help. And I would hate that, that the people who I know, you know, well, to think that it's all about a constant battle, because it really shouldn't be. And talking about a constant battle, one of the areas that they are concerned about is what's happening with the code. Now, I guess you can't put the horse before the cart, but can you please explain why the code, you know, hasn't come this year, despite the agreement that it would? And I understand you're going to go out for another consultation on it. Can you please explain your reasoning behind that, so I can go back to my constituents and explain it to them?
Yeah, I think it's important to deal with the funding point, because I've made investment choices, long-term additional investment that is recurrent in this area. So I think that really does underscore the priority, and to be fair, the National Autistic Society recognise that as well. It's just some honesty about the fact that there is only a finite budget, and I will have to make choices across the whole of the health area. And I know, as in every year, that there will be people looking at the size of the health budget and saying we should have money should come out of the health budget. And if we were in a different committee, if I were going to a committee with local government, there'd be people saying money should come out of health to go somewhere else. And it's just the honest reality that the money that we have has to reach. And and that's the point that I'm making.
Yes.
I'm just making that point. But within that, I've made longer-term choices to invest in this area. The understanding of how we'll actually have duties around what's being provided and the work on the code, actually there's been lots of work done with a variety of stakeholders, including autistic people themselves, including work with the National Autistic Society. So on the technical groups we have, the National Autistic Society attend. There's another round of meetings coming up in November. Part of the reason why we're not going to have the code and all the guidance to consult upon until the spring is because of the work we're actually doing in listening to autistic people.